If we look at macros, the macroorganisms, what we're talking about here are the predators, the parasitoids, parasites, the entomopathogenic nematodes. And if we look at those, again, we're looking at the positive things that we're looking at are their favorable, their use is favorable for pollinators and other beneficials that have naturally occurred. They certainly come along with better monitoring of crops. When people have been using macroorganisms, they've also been crop walking on a regular basis. They know what's there, they anticipate the problems, and they're generally got a crop in better sort of balance while they're using these things. Probably the biggest advantage, though, of a macroorganism is that it is not termed as a PPP. Therefore, it can be brought in at a quicker interval, and it brings in less costs in the development phase. So you can respond to an invasive pest. And if we take something like Tutor absoluta, when that came into tomatoes, the first response was bringing in semiochemicals for monitoring and for some mass trapping, and bringing in some macroorganisms to control the pest as we moved forward and looked at other things to integrate into the system. So certainly the first port of call can be the macroorganism, and very effective at doing that. On the negative side, they are living organisms. They do require specialist transport and storage. They need to be understood that you are dealing with these live organisms, and they can't be stuck at the port in 40-degree temperature because they won't be alive when they go to the farm, and that then limits their use and their acceptance by the farmer. So it needs to be understood that we are dealing with that. It does need you to start to understand what is the interaction between a plant protection product, a chemical plant protection product, and the macroorganism. And the choice that you use of combining into an IPM system needs to take that into account, and you don't want to be killing off your macroorganism by bringing in a incompatible plant protection chemical. So those are the main risks, but we also have this thing, unbalanced risk. What is that? And what people have looked at, are you going to have a disaster? Are you going to have something take over and get out of control itself? Now, the companies that bring the microbial plant protection products to the market are involved in doing these risk assessments. They go through, they understand how the macroorganism will develop unchecked if it hasn't got things there. They bring in things like overwintering. Does it overwinter? What are the geographical limits for it to spread, taking into account climate change and so on? And what you want to do is you want to be able to feel confident that you've got a robust plant protection product that is not going to become a plant protection target in the future because it becomes a pest. And they do this a lot. There have been some examples, and I talked about this at ABIM a few years ago, of Harmonia that did come in, and the plant protection harmonia was not the one that then got out of control, but it could easily have been. And this harmonia is an example of a macrobial that, if the wrong species rather than the correct species is introduced, you can end up with a unbalance, and you don't want that to happen either.